So we now talk about MacPherson. Very interesting place. We've got a young mother. She's grown quite a bit since the last election. She's 31 and she's a mother, right? And we have a very feisty man representing the Workers' Party, Bernard Chan, and he's late bloomer, got a first degree in history from NUS and then a master's from Oxford University. Fighter, interesting character. And then, of course, it's a three-cornered fight. And we've got Cho Chai Chen, right, who's got many years of political history. He was Workers' Party's, SDP's, one of the SDP MPs, together with Ling Hao Dung, right, and Cham Chi Tong.
I think he was in Nee Soon.
Yeah, in 91 election,
Yep.
right. So, but he's still around. So my question is, the general view is the moment you have a three-cornered fight, the incumbent has a natural advantage. Does that apply here?
I think one way to look at it is look at what the previous experiences, and I would say look at the Punggol East by-election. There was a four-cornered fight actually, and I think those two opposition candidates who are not from the Workers' Party actually lost their deposits.
Yes.
Right. So I feel that this shows that the Singapore voter is more mature, and I think that they are very clear in their mind that who they want to vote, and they will send the clear message to the others, don't mess around. And I think if you look back, the same election, I think Dr. Chee Soon Juan was wanting to contest or send somebody to contest there, and he decided to withdraw.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that three-corner fight will not be a major, will not be even a factor. I think in this, especially in this constituency, when you have a person like Mr. Cho Chai Chen.
Yeah, Cho Chai Chen. Yeah.
Because after the 1991 elections, we have hardly heard of him.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he has actually stood for elections. If
He did.
But not all.
Even in the last election.
Oh, he did. So he has
the last two elections.
So all the time he has been defeated, right?
Yeah, NSP.
So to me, he's a non-entity. And finally, I think what Cho Chai Chen said about motherhood is just not.
Was it a motherhood statement? More than that.
I think it's worse than
cutting.
that. I think it's worse than that. I think it's worse than that. So I think that's so I think it will be a straight fight between these two.
Yeah.
And Cho Chai Chen might even lose his deposit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And,
so Eugene, what's your assessment of Tin Pei Ling? What's your sense of Tin Pei Ling?
Well, I mean, we all know that she was elected under a cloud of controversy, right? That she rode on the coattails of her more illustrious colleagues on the Marine Parade ticket. So essentially, ESM Goh Chok Tong, and of course, there was a lot of unhappiness, because people saw the GRC system, resulting in someone like her being elected, and a very established politician in George Yeo losing in Aljunied. But I think over the last 4 years, by all accounts, she has been working hard to prove her worth. And like it or not, Miss Tin is everybody's daughter or everybody's granddaughter. The next door girl, who can relate very well to the demographics of MacPherson, which is essentially,
60%
working class,
60%
elderly,
three-room,
and
60% through means rental flats, and the elderly, right? And she has a natural feel for these two constituencies.
Yes, so I think she has showed her feistiness, and I think she has engaged well, with her residents, and of course now the question is, how well has she done it, which we'll probably know through the margin that she wins.
Also the fact that the PAP has decided to field her in a single seat must show that the kind of work she has done, and that there's a lot of confidence in
either that or that she's dispensable, move her out. She's a liability. I mean, that was the initial sense. She's a liability. She would be a liability with Marine Parade, GRC, move her out. That was the initial sense.
Yeah, I doubt that because even the PM, has spoken about her and what she has done. In fact, I call her the comeback kid for this election. And just one other factor, I think the public has a special feeling for a mother, and not just a mother, this is a young mother who gave birth just very recently and within a week decided to go in there and campaign.
And went against the Chinese traditional confinement rules and so on. But I must say that I've interviewed her before, and I asked her really quite hard-hitting questions, and she took it in a stride. And I was really, and she was authentic. In fact, the word that comes to my mind is this is a young lady who is authentic, and she had a lot of courage to stay on and do well. And I can tell you the other thing that struck me about her is her orientation towards people who are older, is natural. For example, when she shared with me about how she decided to take 1 year off university to help out her parent because her father wasn't well running the coffee shop, she took 1 year off her school, university, to help out her parents because her father wasn't well. Now, not many people would do that, and she wasn't fibbing. So I can see if that's the person she is, and this is a constituency where a significant number of them are elderly, senior citizens, and not surprisingly, she came up with MacPherson Care Fund, right, which is very interesting, helping elderly residents with their medical bills, milk powder scheme for low-income families. You see, it's very targeted and practical. So what is your sense with Bernard Chan? I mean, he's also a very interesting, strong guy, but he doesn't have the advantage of the 5 years that she has had.
Yes, he's again, new. So despite the WP backing, the branding, I think WP will be hard pressed to make inroads. So I think it's really a question of how well Mr. Pei Ling does, and I think it's. NSP probably felt that Ms. Tin, was an easy target, and I think that's why they decided to muscle in. And I think it's gone to a stage where they felt that they couldn't pull out, and so they'll probably pay a very high price for it. Because I think I agree with Balji that it's going to be a straight fight. And I think no one doubts that. So it was really a foolish decision in my view. For NSP to jump in.
But I'm sure they have their own reasons. I think they're also fed up of WP and the way they were treated in the negotiations. But that aside, do you feel that Workers' Party fielding someone who's a bright kid, what is the reason why they want? Because they must have done their sums. The chances here are not very high. In fact, quite slim. But why would they send a bright kid, he's 29 years old, in there?
Well, it's to cut his teeth. Right?
Yeah, so that's it, right?
Exactly.
It's to cut his teeth.
Yeah.
It's to give him that warm up.
Yeah.
Right.
And this Bernard Chen, he joined Workers' Party when he was 21.
Yes.
How many people at 21 will join a political party and an opposition political party at that? So he's now 29.
8 years.
And he has been there. I think this is a damn good testing ground for a young, aspiring politician. And I think Workers' Party, they want to test him.
Yeah.
Can he last?
Yeah.
This is going to be a marathon race. Can he last that race?
Yeah.
He's WP's youngest candidate in this GE, and I think WP Chairman Sir William said on Sunday night's rally, that this is about WP's renewal as well. And so I think if you see across their slate of candidates, they have more first-time new candidates, than people who have contested before.
That's right.
And so I see this GE for WP as in many ways trying to consolidate what they have, but also setting the ground ready for the next general election.
I think they are taking from PAP's book.
Yep.
Renewal, passing the baton, new blood. The blue is beginning to fade and look a bit like
white. Bleach. The bleach effect. We call it the bleach effect.
Yeah.
Right. On that note, quick question. What percentage do you think
Why do you
I'm
ask
changing
me,
the question.
Why do you ask me this question first? You should ask
Okay,
him
I'll
first.
ask you.
So
For a
I
change.
get a time to think. You know?
Okay, so what do you think? What's the percentage that you think the Workers' Party can get?
The Workers' Party. Wow. I think this could be one constituency in which the Workers' Party might perform below its national average.
Which is?
So whatever that is. I think it's a bit hard. Increasingly I'm finding it very hard to get a sense of how voters are going to be like, and that's why I prefer to talk about their national average and not being pinned on a figure. But I think it's really difficult. But I think that the result here doesn't matter as much as a candidate like Bernard being exposed. And they will be battle hardened.
So basically, you don't want to come up with a number, lah.
Yeah. So okay, but okay.
Give a number.
If we go right, then I would say perhaps a shade below 40%.
Okay. All right.
A shade below 40%. I'm surprised.
What do you
I
think?
think
So what's yours, Balji?
I think it'll be about 30%.
30%.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And my sense is somewhere between that. And really,
He is now the guy.
No. My sense is somewhere between, because my sense is Pei Ling is probably going to be one of the highest percentage winners in this election.
You have interviewed her,
Yeah.
so I think you.
And also I've got a sense of MacPherson, and it's a perfect place for a person like her, and she's got the backing of a very strong, committed team, and committed to her.
So which means again there are lessons that any party can learn from MacPherson, right? It's really
Absolutely
fitting, rather than get
putting the right person
the constituency
in the right
to
place.
fit the candidate. The candidate has got to fit the constituency.
And the temperament.
The constituency, the profile, the
Yeah.
profile of the
Right.
constituency.
So Vishal, what's your sense of Mr. Chio? I mean, in terms of his vote share.
He's definitely going to lose his deposit.
Yeah. Okay. So, but
I think probably
3%?
No, 2.
I would think 1%.
You see again. All right. Let's
between
end on that
probably.
note.
I'm
We
being
could be sued for libel here. Thank you, gentlemen.